And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to introduce to you to someone very, very special, our Wow Delhi Celebrity of the Year. First off, to do the honors, I'd like to invite on stage CEO Outlook Group, Mr. Indranil Roy, and Miss N Mahalakshmi to once again please join me on stage to do the honors. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, she's one of the most talented and hardworking actors we know who's really carved a niche for herself in Bollywood. From action to romance, I'd say she's been experimenting with a lot of roles, and of course, she does it with great finesse and versatility. A perfect combination of beauty with brains. She also happens to be a computer science engineer, which is the newest thing I've learned today. Of course, she has this string of hits, and today she's not only making waves in Bollywood, but she also continues to charm audiences down south, from where she really started her journey in 2010 with K. Raghavendra Rao's Telugu movie, Jumandi Nadam. I hope I said that correctly. Ladies and gentlemen, I can actually go on and on, but I think it's time for me to invite her on stage. Please put your hands together for our Wow Celebrity of the Year Delhi, Miss Taapsee Pannu. Also requesting, I'd also like to request Mr. Anil Kaushal, Head Lupin Life Care Consumer Healthcare, to please join me on stage to do the honors. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I know you're busy taking pictures, but honestly, if you ask me, this moment requires a huge round of applause. So please free your hands for the next 30 seconds. Okay, I think we've got our best shot, do we? Yes? All right. Taapsee, thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Roy and Mr. Kaushal, thank you. I'm going to request you to please stay with me on stage, and I'm going to request Ms. N Mahalakshmi also to stay with me, because we're going to extend this, ladies and gentlemen, into a wonderful conversation. Okay, so the stage is set. Taapsee, please do take your seat. Mahalakshmi, over to you.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much, and all of you, for being okay with the fact that I get this particular award, in spite of the fact that I honestly believe that I get this slight edge only because of the profession I am in, and not because I am actually outsmarting the other businesswomen who were there on the stage today. So I actually feel really awkward when I come to outside film kind of gathering, and I get to meet such brilliant women who have achieved so much. So it just feels like, okay, maybe just I have an edge because of the job I am in, but in no way I feel I'm anywhere even near to the kind of achievements the women on this particular stage have. And I hope all of you can also be a part of this platform, this stage, this accolade, the covers, because I feel you deserve it much more than I do.
Absolutely, they are. There are a whole bunch of women entrepreneurs today who are getting awards for their work, for building large size businesses. Um, but my question to you is, had you not been an actress, what would you have been? Your path was pretty much laid out. And for all the people who didn't know, of course, Xenia said that you did your computer engineering, you had a pretty good academic track record, and you wanted to crack CAT
Yeah.
and do an MBA,
Yeah.
and you took a 1 year gap to prepare for your CAT, and look
Yeah.
where you landed.
Yeah, that is why they say that life is something that happens to you while you're busy making plans. So that's exactly what happened in my case. If I would have followed my ambition, I probably would have been a genuine all business woman today and not an actor turned entrepreneur, because I wanted to do my MBA. I wanted to be a marketing professional, and then eventually get promoted to be someone to reckon with in business world. But yes, this is what happened. I wanted to give my CAT the second time, because the first time I got around 88 percentile, which I thought I could do better with whatever skills I thought I had. I gave myself another year, and this is what happened.
And you also had a job with Infosys. You had
Yeah,
a job offer for Infosys.
I was campus placed. I was campus placed, and that was purely because I wanted to show it to my father that, or my family and everyone who thought that this is how a perfect life is when you get a campus placement. Infosys was the first company that came, and I got a placement in Infosys, and I had an appointment letter still sitting at home. And it was just to show that if I want, that I can get a job. It's just that I choose not to work at that time.
But what really swung the deal for you? I mean, what changed in that 1 year?
I
And
think-
more importantly, I think what I want to know is, what was your parents' reaction? I mean, you wanted to get into CAT, do an MBA, have a corporate career, or become a businesswoman. And this is an entirely different path altogether.
Yeah, I think my father kind of freaked out actually. He didn't understand what happened to this girl who used to be this front bencher, scoring quite well, never took part in any school play, drama, skit. I don't know what happened to her suddenly. And he was almost scared that I'll stop my education in between and won't even complete my BTech, which kind of like scared him and gave him sleepless nights, literally. Until I finished my graduation with decent numbers. And then he kind of like believed what I said. And when I asked him that, please give me 1 year out of my own life, and then if it doesn't work out, I'm going to come back and give my CAT, and we'll go as per plan. Thank God he agreed for that 1 year, because I told him this CAT can happen again. This profession might not give me a chance again. And honestly, I really don't know what made me think I could do anything in it, because I was just exploring an opportunity. One thing I give myself the credit of is the fact that I never gave up an opportunity thinking, no, this is not something I can do. I always made the best use of it. But at the same time, I say my luck line is stronger than my lifeline in my hand. And I was lucky enough to get that opportunity. But then I made sure I made full use of it.
Tell me, you, after your ad films and the initial brush, you really got into South cinema. And there again, you had a good initial success period and then a lean patch. Was there any point then or thereafter that you wanted to take a U-turn? You said, what have I got myself into? Was there any point at all?
I did. And I sometimes honestly still do. Because there are times when you face situations and go through moments or things that you end up feeling that probably you are not cut out for this really. Because every profession has a great side and not so great side to it. And when you encounter that not so great side, then you end up feeling that maybe you're in a wrong profession, or maybe you don't know how to deal with it. Yeah, that happened multiple times, but that kind of was never a deterrent. It never told me that, okay, because you're not going to do this job, you are useless. Because I always thought, if not this, I can do a lot a lot of other things with my life, not just acting. I knew I could go back to engineering, I could do my MBA. If not, I'll probably start a startup, which I eventually did regardless of being an actor. I knew I could still make a lot out of my life, if not an actor. So I never felt that desperate and that, like a lost soldier. I always thought I can make a lot out of my life, if not acting. That kind of kept me going, regardless of all those bad moments.
Sure. And how hard was it to really get into Bollywood? Because you didn't have any connections when you got into Bollywood.
Well, again, I would start this answering this by saying yes, my luck line is stronger than my lifeline, and that does really matter in Bollywood. It really helps you because you have to be at the right place at the right time, and that kind of helped me. But yes, it will give you an initial kick. But after that, it's my real struggle started after my first film, because then there were expectations to live up to. There were things that were expected out of you as an actor off camera. And a lot of other bigger struggles that I'm still going through, which kind of make your path more difficult when you are an outsider. There have been so many times that you just get replaced overnight because someone just made a call. There's so many times that you're not even in the running because there are so many others who are recommended for a particular role. Yeah, there are a lot of these kind of things happen in the industry every now and then. But then, I chose this path, knowing all this exists, knowing I will have a longer route, knowing I'll have more struggles than a lot of others out there. But whatever good or bad, whatever I'm able to make for myself will be mine. Nobody can tomorrow get up and say, this is wherever she is today is because of me, like someone else. It'll all be mine. So I think I'm okay with having a slow and steady path. Thank you.
One of the things that you have been very particular about is to not repeat roles and not do similar roles. How hard is that for somebody, for a budding actress, to sort of say no to doing something that is seen as befitting of your acting style?
In the beginning, I'll be very honest again. In the beginning, after I did Chashme Badur, I realized that not many of such roles come my way. I believe there are so many other girls in the film industry who are far more beautiful and really good in doing those kind of roles, which are conventional heroine roles. I never got those roles. So I had this was the only path that I thought will help me make either I end up being just a mediocre person who's just doing anything and she's replaceable, or I choose this path where I make my way through. I force people to look at me and notice me by doing roles which are unconventional. So I had to choose this path. And I think the more films I did, the more opportunities I got, the more choices I had. And today, if I look at the lineup I had last year or this year, I had probably the maximum number of films releasing for any female actor in the industry, and all of them were different genres, all of them were different roles. And that probably I could achieve because I had the courage in the beginning to choose a path that is not conventional, and I had the courage to accept that, okay, it's okay to not to be a diva. It's okay that I look like an average girl. I'm very, very okay with it because I'm catering to an average Indian audience in majority. Most of the people who go and buy movie tickets and watch it are average Indian people. So I'm okay representing them on screen. So a lot of acceptance of your own self, reassurance of your own self, all that happened, and then I could take that path.
What is your personal favorite movie? Your own?
My own? You don't choose from your children. I have spent a lot of time and effort in each and every film I've done, regardless of the box office result. And that time, forget about the money, but the time will never come back. And I've spent some really important years in each and every film. I will never choose from them.
Your most challenging one?
Most challenging one?
role.
Okay, that I can tell you. It's happening now, actually. Right now, I'm here and I'll go back to promoting Badla. That's releasing on Women's Day. But then after that, the same day, I fly to actually Delhi from Mumbai and then drive to Johri for one of the toughest roles of my career. We are doing this biopic on shooter dadis, like how everybody knows them, Chandru and Prakashi Tomar. And I really don't know what am I going to do in that film. We've shot for 9 days. I'm taking one day at a time. I have nothing common with that character to build upon. I usually find a common thread and then build upon it. I honestly have nothing common to build upon. That's the toughest challenge I've thrown at myself in years. Getting into Bollywood was easier probably. And I am trying to like wrap my head around it and fight it out every single day, one day at a time. I know that I want to do it. I don't know how I'll do it. But even now when I read the script, I have a tear in my eye, how beautifully their story has been written. So there's no way I'm going to give up. But that's going to be the toughest role of my career.
The toughest role so far.
That's what I said. It's going to
relate
come.
to that.
So far, I don't know. I mean, so far I have not really felt that this is more than that. I have probably encountered the same kind of difficulty in most of them. But this kind of takes the cake so easily, so with such a huge margin that I cannot even think of any other role that has been even close to this kind of difficulty.
You feel that with every role? Every successive role, you feel this is...
No. I could have said that about the other films that I'm already discussing or working on, but this is the film that I really don't know. Like I remember last year when, I had decided to do this film 2 years back, but last year when I was doing Mulk, I always used to say it is the most critical film for me because that was one film I did when everyone else didn't want me to do that film, including people really close to me, people who take care of my work, to a lot of people I spoke to, friends and all. They didn't want me to do that film. It was only my instinct that was pushing me that I have to do it. Come what may, maximum what will happen. It will fail, it will flop, but at least people will remember me for trying something that was challenging and difficult. So the same way I want to look forward to Saan Ki Aankh, which is extremely challenging for me.
Taapsee, in the interview that our reporters did, you said you don't want to be a social climber. What did you mean?
I'm very scared of that. So I'll tell you where did it come from. When I migrated from South cinema to Bollywood, there were social dues, something similar to this. I used to go and attend. And I was almost a dozen films down when I started working in Hindi film industry. And the way they used to receive me and put me like in some little faraway corner, whereas a lot of my contemporaries used to take the center stage. Sometimes I could convince myself it's okay, they don't know what I have done or how much work I have done. I'm not saying I've done some mind-blowing, path-breaking stuff, but nor have a lot of others who were sitting there, honestly. But I thought that I probably deserved a little better because work is work. Making films is making films. Just because it was not in the same language, it was not respected enough. And that was not going down well with me. So I decided not to attend all these big public social dues for a while and then come back when probably people know me a little better. And I did after a few years when things became better, when people knew about what I could do. But yeah, in between, I could see a lot of people trying to just be spotted around the names and just be clicked around there. And then people talking behind their back as how they are the social climbers, because that's why they're attending all these dues to be clicked around. So that kind of really scared me. I didn't want to put down the efforts and the hard work that I've done for years to be where I am by just this one statement said by someone that she's a social climber. I cannot socialize with an agenda, which I cannot till date, because of which I'm not really a part of any group or camp or clan or whatever they call it. I do lose out on a lot of films even now because I don't socialize really with that agenda, which is okay. I can talk a lot, as you all can witness right now. I can socialize really well, but not with an agenda.
Tell me, there is a lot of hue and cry around pay gap in Bollywood. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so maybe it will go probably not in the direction that you all expect me to say, but I'll be again very honest and very practical because I do think as an entrepreneur as well. So, business, it's a filmmaking is a business, it's show business. Your remuneration, according to me, should be proportional to the kind of guaranteed footfalls that you can get for your film. An X star can guarantee a Y amount of opening for a film, regardless of what genre, how good or bad the film is. Just because X is doing a film, so many people are ready to bet their money on that film and watch it. So, if I want to demand a certain amount of money for a film, which is equivalent to that X star, I should be able to give that Y opening for my films. Then it's fair enough. Otherwise, I'm just for the sake of pay parity issue, I am actually making my producer suffer, which will end up making him lose a lot of money and he'll never be able to make a film again, at least not with me for sure. So I don't want that to happen.
Why do you say that?
Because if I'm charging way too much than what I can actually pull into theater, then it's unfair. Well, every film, their true success starts on a Monday, if they're actually good or no, but weekend is mostly star-driven. How popular you are, how much people want to see you, regardless of the film. Weekend is more or less a judge of that. If my weekend collection, when I am the only so-called star in the film, is in comparison to my male counterparts, then 100% I'll ask for same amount of money. But if not, then I feel it's unfair to the producer.
Just one last question. You're a Delhi girl. Is there a quick fix to make Delhi safe for women?
Well, if I had that, I would have made sure by hook or by crook.
Already.
By hook or by crook, I would have made sure that happened. It just feels so sad. Today morning itself, I was looking out of the window from my hotel, and I was looking at the street, and I was just like, it's such a beautiful city, just filled with some insane amount of rapists. It just pricks me at that wrong place every time. I love my city so much. Obviously, in Mumbai, when I go there, I'm the person standing there for my city, defending my city. But this one argument, I cannot defend. And yeah, I don't know what to do about it. I just can hope and pray it gets better.
Sure. Thank you so much. It was
Pleasure.
a pleasure
Thank you so
talking
much,
to you.
everyone, for listening to me. Thank you.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for the absolutely one and only? And Taapsee, I'm an opportunist, but other than that, yes, we should all be, right? Other than that, the fact is that we're in a room full of women of worth. And I know you cannot physically take a selfie with everyone, but everyone would want one with you. So let's take like a groupie with all of the women of worth in the room, yeah? Okay, let's go for it. Guys, give us your best smiles, yeah? We'll tag it on Wow 2019 and you can find yourself. Okay, let's go a little closer.